Here's a question that broke the internet in 2014. Is Hello Kitty a cat? The answer, according to Sanrio themselves, is no. She's not a cat. She's a little girl from London named Kitty White, who happens to look exactly like a cat. And if that sounds spurious, like some made-up corporate nonsense, well, you're not alone. Millions of fans called it spurious reasoning. A cat-shaped character with whiskers, pointy ears, and the word kitty in her name is somehow not a cat. But here's the thing. That spurious-sounding claim actually reveals something profound about how Sanrio designs characters. Some cynical observers dismissed the explanation entirely. Those cynical critics assumed Sanrio was just making excuses. But to understand why Hello Kitty isn't a cat, you need to look deeper. She was never meant to be a realistic animal. She's something more abstract than that. From the Latin abstractus, meaning drawn away, abstract refers to concepts pulled away from concrete reality. An abstract painting doesn't show a literal scene. Abstract math deals with ideas, not counting apples. This root appears in words like extract, to draw out, subtract, to draw away from, distract, to draw attention away, and contract, to draw together. Hello Kitty is abstract in the deepest sense. She has no mouth. She's permanently taciturn, silent and uncommunicative. From the Latin tacere, meaning to be silent, taciturn describes someone who rarely speaks. A taciturn person keeps thoughts private. They observe more than they share. This root runs through words you know. Tacit means understood without being said. Reticent means reluctant to speak. And tacit is a musical term meaning be silent. But Hello Kitty's taciturn design isn't a flaw. It's a fastidious choice, an obsessive attention to detail. But there's a reason for that fastidious decision. Without a mouth, Hello Kitty can't express a fixed emotion. She becomes a blank canvas. You project your own feelings onto her. When you're happy, she looks happy. When you're sad, she seems to understand. This is deliberate. Sanrio wanted fans to experience a vicarious emotional connection through their characters. The vicarious bond is powerful. You don't just look at Hello Kitty. You feel through her. The details go deep. Hello Kitty is 5 apples tall and weighs 3 apples. She has a twin sister named Mimi, who wears a yellow bow instead of red. And her birthday is November 1st, which makes her a Scorpio. These meticulous details weren't accidents. Sanrio is meticulous about building complete character universes. And Hello Kitty isn't even close to being their most popular character anymore. Since 2020, the #1 Sanrio character has been Cinnamoroll, a flying puppy with a tail shaped like a cinnamon roll. Yes, really. But before Cinnamoroll, before even Hello Kitty's peak, there was another champion, and his story is fascinating. Meet Pochacco. This athletic white puppy was created in 1989, and from 1991 to 1995, he was the phenomenon. The biggest Sanrio character, beating Hello Kitty. And here's the part that might give you wistful feelings, a kind of nostalgic longing. Pochacco's birthday is February 29th. He's a leap year baby, so his real birthday only comes around every 4 years. There's something wistful about a character who rarely gets to celebrate. The designers gave Pochacco a congenial personality, friendly and pleasant to be around. That congenial nature made him ubiquitous in the early 90s. You couldn't escape him. Stickers, notebooks, backpacks, everywhere. But Sanrio wasn't just creating cute characters. They were building something unprecedented, a business model that had never been done at this scale. To understand how Sanrio became a multi-billion-dollar empire, you need to know their origin story. They started in 1960 as a silk company. Just silk. Nothing cute about it. Then the founder, Shintaro Tsuji, made a discovery. When he put a simple strawberry design on rubber sandals, they sold dramatically better than plain ones. That insight changed everything. The insight was profound. Cuteness sells. But more than that, cuteness creates emotional connection. People don't just buy cute things, they bond with them. This insight led Sanrio to become what I call a character factory. Since the 1970s, they've created over 450 characters. Most people only know about 15 of them. The market is rife with Sanrio characters you've never heard of. Rife might sound negative, but in Sanrio's case, it's strategy. Throw hundreds of characters at the wall. See what sticks. From the Old English rife, meaning abundant or numerous, rife describes things that are everywhere you look. This insight led to what became a global phenomenon: the cute merchandise industry. That Kawaii style generates $5 billion a year, just from Hello Kitty, not including all the other characters. 90% of those profits come from outside Japan. The compelling nature of Kawaii has no borders. So the next time someone dismisses cute characters as just kids' stuff, remember this: you're looking at one of the most successful branding empires in human history. And in Part 2, we'll meet the characters that prove Sanrio isn't just about sweetness, including a depressed egg who only responds to soy sauce, and a red panda who screams death metal to cope with her office job. The Kawaii conspiracy goes deeper than you think. 15 words. Lock them in. Spurious, false, or fake, not genuine. Cynical, distrustful of sincerity, believing the worst of motives. Abstract, existing as an idea rather than physical reality. Remember, drawn away from the concrete. Taciturn, reserved and uncommunicative, not inclined to talk. From Latin, to be silent. Fastidious, obsessively attentive to detail. Vicarious, experienced through another person or thing. Wistful, having a feeling of vague longing. Congenial, pleasant and agreeable to be around. Insight, the capacity to understand something deeply. Rife, full of something, widespread. From Old English abundant, +5 you already know. Meticulous, phenomenon, ubiquitous, unprecedented, compelling. 450 characters, $5 billion. One question: is Hello Kitty a cat? The answer is more abstract than you'd expect. In Part 1, we explored Hello Kitty's abstract design philosophy and Pochacco's reign as Sanrio's champion. We learned how a silk company became a Kawaii empire. But here's what might stupefy you about Sanrio's newer characters. They're not all sweet. Some of them are deeply, hilariously broken. Meet Gudetama. Created in 2013, Gudetama is a depressed egg yolk. That's it. That's the character. A sad, lazy egg who just wants to lie around and do nothing. When you contemplate Gudetama's design, you realize something surprising. Contemplate his appeal. He sleeps on his egg white like it's a bed. He uses bacon as a blanket. And the only thing that motivates him? Soy sauce. This is the opposite of the amiable characters Sanrio usually creates. Hello Kitty is amiable. Pochacco is amiable. But Gudetama? He's too tired to be friendly. And yet, by 2019, this depressed egg became Sanrio's third most profitable character. The aesthetic that made Gudetama famous has a name: Kimo Kawaii. It means gross cute or creepy cute. Things that are adorable and slightly disturbing at the same time. Gudetama proved that Sanrio's character roster could be diverse, not just sweet. From the Latin diversus, meaning turned different ways, diverse describes variety and difference. A diverse group has many types. A diverse menu has many options. Sanrio's diverse character lineup now includes the cheerful, the lazy, and the absolutely unhinged. This root appears in divert, to turn away, divorce, to turn apart, diverge, to turn in different directions, and diversion, something that turns your attention. But if Gudetama seems dark, wait until you meet Agretsuko. Agretsuko is a 25-year-old red panda who works a soul-crushing office job. Her boss is terrible. Her co-workers are annoying. She's stuck in corporate misery. How does she cope? Death metal karaoke. After work, Agretsuko goes to karaoke and screams heavy metal songs to release her rage. The innovative choice to combine kawaii with death metal was pure genius. Agretsuko has a Netflix series that ran for 5 seasons. It tackles adult topics like workplace harassment, financial stress, and toxic relationships. This is the same company that created Hello Kitty. The subtle genius of Sanrio is recognizing that cuteness can carry heavy themes. That subtle understanding that you can discuss depression through a lazy egg or workplace trauma through a metal-screaming panda, that's what keeps Sanrio relevant. But not every Sanrio character gets immediate success. Some have to wait decades for their moment. Consider Hangyodon. Created in 1985, Hangyodon is a lonely fish whose heroic plans always fail. For 34 years, he existed in complete obscurity. Nobody cared about the sad fish. Then, in 2022, something changed. Hangyodon finally cracked the top 10 Sanrio rankings for the first time ever. 34 years of being ignored, then suddenly, recognition. There's something benevolent about fans finally embracing the underdog. The benevolent support from fans transformed Hangyodon's story from tragedy to triumph. Speaking of transformations, let's talk about Kuromi. Kuromi is a white rabbit who wears a black jester hat decorated with a skull. She's the rival to My Melody, one of Sanrio's most prolific cute characters. For years, Kuromi lived in My Melody's shadow, the dark rival never quite matching the sweet original. Then in 2022, Kuromi beat My Melody in the official Sanrio rankings. The villain became more popular than the hero. This might seem like a reticent admission for Sanrio to make. After all, they built their brand on sweetness. But Sanrio wasn't reticent about celebrating Kuromi's victory. They leaned into it. The company recognized that fans wanted edge along with their cuteness. The collaborations got wilder too. Hello Kitty airplanes, entire jets painted with characters, Hello Kitty food served at 30,000 feet, Hello Kitty guitars. Fender made official Stratocasters that sold for $230 and now resell for over $1,000. Hello Kitty motor oil. For your car. Yes, really. Even a Hello Kitty maternity hospital in Taiwan, where babies are delivered in character-themed rooms. The charismatic appeal of these characters extends into places you'd never expect. What makes this work is how vivacious the Sanrio universe feels. From the Latin vivax, meaning long-lived or lively, vivacious describes energetic, spirited presence. A vivacious person lights up a room. A vivacious brand stays relevant for 60 years. This root gives us vivid, intensely alive in color, revive, to bring back to life, survive, to remain living, and vivarium, a place for living things. The Kawaii empire keeps expanding because Sanrio understands something crucial. Cuteness isn't one thing. It can ameliorate your stress through gentle characters like Hello Kitty. It can validate your exhaustion through Gudetama. It can channel your rage through Agretsuko. From the Latin melior, meaning better, ameliorate means to improve a difficult situation. When Kawaii ameliorates your day, it softens whatever you're carrying. This root appears in meliorate, a direct synonym, and gives us meliorism, the philosophical belief that the world can be improved through effort. Critics might call the whole enterprise saccharine, cloyingly sweet and impossible to take seriously. And yes, saccharine describes Sanrio perfectly. Everything has big eyes. Everything is soft. Everything wants to be your friend. But here's the thing. $5 billion a year from Hello Kitty alone. Over 450 characters. 60 years of cultural dominance. The saccharine strategy works. So, what's the real conspiracy here? It's not that Hello Kitty isn't a cat. It's not that Sanrio secretly targets adults with death metal pandas. The conspiracy is simpler. Sanrio discovered that people need to feel things through safe containers. An abstract cat lets you feel without judgment. A depressed egg validates your exhaustion. A screaming red panda says your rage is okay. The Kawaii empire isn't selling cuteness, it's selling permission to feel. And that, it turns out, is worth billions. 15 words, lock them in. Stupefy, to astonish greatly, to stun. Contemplate, to think carefully about something at length. Amiable, friendly, and pleasant in manner. Diverse, showing great variety. From Latin turned different ways. Subtle, delicate, and difficult to detect, making fine distinctions. Benevolent, well-meaning and kindly, generous in spirit. Reticent, not revealing thoughts readily, reserved. Vivacious, attractively lively and animated. From Latin vivax, meaning living. Ameliorate, to make a bad situation better. From Latin melior, meaning better. Saccharine, excessively sweet or sentimental. Plus 5 you already know. Aesthetic, innovative, prolific, charismatic, transform. 450 characters, $5 billion. One depressed egg who only responds to soy sauce. The Kawaii conspiracy isn't about cute, it's about feelings. And Sanrio cracked the code.